So many African Americans, slave and free, were affected by the Great Awakenings and became preachers as well. Most modeled their preaching after George Whitefield. George Whitefield, when he preached, had this big booming voice. He was trained in theater, and so he memorized all of his preaching lines. And so he would stand up with that big booming voice and preach to thousands of people, right? And so because the way he preached like one of the African storytellers, because he taught from memory and he used a lot of metaphor and allegory. And so the early black preachers at the time period, they galvanized around Whitefield, and that's how the preaching style. Even today, the preaching style of a lot of African Americans is all no notes, right? Depending on the church you go to, it's no notes, and you just preach from memory. Matter of fact, your good friend tells a story of how he shared with his bishop. He's preaching this big bishop's church. He preached his first sermon, and he said, "Bishop, here's my notes, and check it out. Let me know what you think." And he said, "Shh," threw it in the trash. He said, "We don't do notes. You pray yourself hot, you preach yourself hot." Well, that's an old tradition that comes all the way back during the days of the slave preachers. And the Great Awakenings had a profound impact on the African-American community. John Wesley, he's one of my favorites. He took a strong stand against slavery, never wavered. George Whitefield, unfortunately, he shifted in his stance on slavery. He started off preaching against slavery, and by the end of his life, he owned 100 slaves and got wrapped up in the slave trade himself. Probably, most scholars said because he was given money by slave traders, but he had this compromise that came in along the way.